Let's talk about a former Giant coach though. While we're at it, let's talk about coaches here, because
that's like that little wink, nod.
Wink is coming back to the NFL apparently, guys. And I think it's safe to say he is not interested in a job with the Giants. So yeah, he is interviewing again with the NFL guys, and took a year off, went to at least NFL wise, went to Michigan, was their defensive coordinator there. He's already met with the Falcons about their defensive coordinator job. He's meeting on Thursday with the Colts. He's also rumored to be talking to the Bengals about setting up a meeting as well. So it looks like he's going to be making a return trip to the NFL as a defensive coordinator. They didn't mention that specifically in the articles, but these jobs are, these teams all have openings at defensive coordinator. So it really makes you think that's what's going on. And I just say this: good luck, guys. Whoever goes for it. And listen, Brian Daboll is not innocent in the whole Wink Martindale thing. I am not. Because a couple people were talking. I was like, I don't know if Wink Martindale's the guy I would go for. And people are like, you're just defending Daboll. I'm not defending Daboll. Daboll made mistakes everywhere. I'm pretty positive of that. But again, we're not in the building. It's all conjecture. But when you have a coach as a defensive coordinator that thinks he can go ahead and tell the equipment managers what jerseys to make that week based on who's going to be activated in the roster, that's an issue. That's not your call to make. You make your recommendations. The GM and head coach will make that call from there. You don't throw a hissy fit because your friend got fired as a position coach that did not do very good at his job. I'm sorry, he didn't. Drew Wilkins did not. The linebackers last year in 23, again, this is where you get the gray areas. Last year, this year, or last year, I don't know. But in 23 was not very good. And again, we try to be nice about it because he's gone. I want to disrespect the man like that when he's already out the door for a year. But, the Giants had every right to do it. And then instead of quitting, getting fired or whatever, he hightails it out to Florida and just hides there. Like, are you kidding me? This is after coming to the Giants because the Baltimore Ravens and him mutually parted ways. Guess what, guys? Guess what the language was when Wink Martindale left the Giants? They've mutually parted ways.
Does it seem like they mutually parted ways?
I'm just throwing it out there now. 2 jobs he's had. And he's mutually parted ways.
And in very aggressive ways.
And the only other time he was a defensive coordinator, guys, was before his time with the Ravens, when he was a defense coordinator for the Broncos for 1 season. Like, I'm not trying to poop all over Wink Martindale. Let me be very clear. The guy is a good defensive coordinator. The players seem to really like him. It's not all negative, but there's definitely that prima donna. I'm hot shit and I can do what I want.
It's that mullet look.
And that don't work. That don't work. Like, I would swear he's like the long lost Ryan brother with Rex and Rob.
he could match in there.
He's
got
a
half brother
personality. He really does. And like I said, again, not the worst defensive coordinator you can pick up talent wise. But if you're causing division within the locker room, that's an issue. And again, I know people are going to disagree with me on this one. I still don't think that Shane Bowen is a worse defensive coordinator. And I know people hate, Shane Bowen for some reason. They got a lot of hate this offseason. But Wink Martindale didn't do that great a thing, guys. It's like I don't get it. Like, why people are like, oh, Wink's gone. Like, yeah, so he's gone. He needed to go. Look at the 24 clipboard he had. Like, that's as unprofessional.
The 24?
Yeah, that's as unprofessional as it gets, guys. Absolutely. Now, here's an interesting thing, guys. The injuries. Let's talk about the injuries for a second, okay? Injuries on defense this year. Would you not say it's fair to say this defense was banged up to all hell? Way more than it usually is. Because don't get me wrong, with Giants usually have injuries, but way more than usual.
Yeah, we'll have the teams on like IR in the second half of the year.
You had defensive linemen coming off the streets. You had every single person that was a starter in the secondary injured at some point. You had holes at the defensive line of the corner position. Guess what, guys? Points per game this year went up by 0.5 point. That's it. With all those injuries. Those injuries. It went up by just 0.5 point compared to last year, guys. And we were healthier last year. Our injuries were on offense last year. 23 with injuries were the offense. 24, it was everywhere.
It's the whole team.
The whole team was injured. They were all butthurt at once. But Thibodeau was out. Brian Burns was banged up. Dexter Lawrence was out. Tyler Newman was out. Bobby Okereke was out. It's like, you tell me one decent player that was not injured on that defense. Can't.
Okereke?
He was injured. He ended the year in the IR.
That's right.
Nacho was injured at that point, I mean, you name a player that was not hurt. I feel like every starter basically was hurt. Came back as Azeez Ojulari went out. Like, you tell me one player that, like, a significance that was not hurt this year. And it was still just a 0.5 point difference in the prior year. But for some reason, there's some Giant fans think that Wink Martindale walks on water and was the best defensive coordinator known to man. And I get it.
Buoyant in water.
The blitzing was exciting. The blitzing was exciting. But, again, we were leading the freaking league in sacks at one point this year, guys.
Yeah, it was exciting.
It was.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.